Next here, live from Paris, we turn our attentions to the situation in Orlando, where Barack Obama has met with the families of the victims of the shootings there. He told them, "Our hearts are broken too." Obama, who spoke of the family's grief as beyond description, was accompanied by his Vice President Joe Biden. 49 people were killed when a radicalized gunman went on a killing rampage inside the premises. The premises, a club known as a venue frequented by gays and lesbians. The gunman was said to have held a grudge against gay people, but it later emerged that he too had been a regular visitor to that very club. Well, Shona Bhattacharya is in Orlando for France 24. We can join her right now. Shona, good evening. What is the reaction to the visit by Barack Obama?
Well, Barack Obama was highly anticipated today here in Orlando with Vice President Joe Biden. As you said, he spoke of an evil and hateful act. That was the Sunday morning's shooting in the Pulse nightclub. He did try to elevate the debate, attempting once again to talk about gun control and appeal both to Democrats and Republicans, actually to appeal to Americans in general, making it talking about how motives of different gunmen in different mass shooting incidents may differ, but that it's the instruments of death are so similar in each event.
And Shona, Obama calling on the Senate to rise to the moment and pass gun control. I wonder if you get any feeling among people there how they feel about guns and the availability of guns?
Well, we spoke to many people in the street about this very issue, and a lot of people here own guns. We are in the South, we are in Florida, but most of the people that we spoke to were in favor of stricter controls, and many of them were unaware that the gunman in Sunday morning's shooting actually had a clean record and was able to buy a gun legally. They found that very shocking. A lot of people, as I said, even when they own a gun, they are in favor of stricter gun control. However, when you ask them exactly what it is, what kind of stricter rules they would be willing to tolerate, their things get a little hazy. Other people also saying that if somebody is deranged, if somebody does have, malicious motives, that person, no matter if he or she has a gun or not, will go ahead with a plan, that they will get a gun illegally, or that they'll make an explosive, that they'll go through with that kind of thing. So not necessarily hopeful that stricter gun control would avoid these kinds of incidents.
Shona, hear what you're saying. It's a question of how do you stop someone if they want to do it, isn't it? Shona Bhattacharya there in Orlando. Thank you very much indeed. Many issues, of course, raised by the Orlando shootings. Once again, the focus on, it seems, the religion of the man concerned. Radicalized, obviously, that brings into certain people's mind a certain notion of Islam or being Muslim, which may well be erroneous. Here to talk about Islamophobia and the situation in the USA, Asif, Arif, who's a Paris-based human rights lawyer. Good to see you, and thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, we've had, in the run-up to what's happened in Orlando, Donald Trump with his various statements regarding Muslims, which clearly must have stoked the fire of Islamophobia across the US.
I mean, yes, because we are not used to see American leaders, American people who are doing politics in America, having that kind of statement. So it's a little bit shocking, but at the same point, he's responding to some population who are in fear. But the problem is with this type of statement is that they are utterly wrong, because they are instilling in the society the Islamophobia, as you mentioned. For example, Donald Trump is not at his first time. If we remember, in December, he already took the lead with this type of statement, and he said, okay, we have tremendous flows of Syrian refugees coming around U.S., and if you see the figures, you just see 6,000 Syrian refugees coming in United States of America, representing 1.2% of refugee in the entire U.S. And the problem with this type of statement is they are illegal as well.
And of course, the other thing is that what you've got to consider is that anybody who's radicalized or jihadi, call it whatever you like, they are as to a Muslim as, say, the Ku Klux Klan was to Christians. You know, they're not Muslim or Christian at all. They're just basically representing terror.
they are not, of course, they are not representing Muslim, they're representing terror. That's a lot of Muslim association, a lot of Muslim people keep saying this. Stop attaching the act of Daesh or the act of these isolated men claimed after by Daesh as act from Muslim. Because if you read the Islamic basis, you cannot say to kill somebody is part of the faith of Islam. That is not possible. And I think rather than doing, these type of statements saying, okay, we are going to blow up all the refugees politics, we are going to talk about Muslims and how they're the Islamists without defining what is an Islamist, it is raising Islamophobia. But I think in America, what we need is to keep up with peaceful statement, keep up with interfaith, because America is really involved in these interfaith events. This is a great country. I mean, they should stay with this greatness. And if you see Muslim organization, as far as I am concerned, I know very well Ahmadiyya Muslim community, for example. So they are doing campaign, they are doing Meet a Muslim Family, they are doing a lot of stuff like True Islam, for example, in order to raise these issues.
Muhammad Ali, the most high-profile, perhaps, American Muslim, has just died, and obviously may his soul rest in peace. He would have been obviously against all of this, but just coming back to the Orlando case and the shootings that happened and obviously the horror that was caused, how important is it, in your opinion, that the imam of this man's local mosque came out and said, this is nothing to do with us? How important is it that people representing American Muslims stood up and said, look, this has nothing to do with our religion?
I think it's fundamental.
Completely.
I mean, when they come and they show that they are representing Islam in this very town, and they are coming and saying, this is not representing of our faith. I mean, this is great. What else can we do? I mean, we cannot be in the mind of this guy who seems to be a little bit, crazy type of person. So we should see Muslim as they are. They are human. They say this is not related to Islam. So the only thing they can say is to go where they are, pay their condolences to the family, because this is the most important thing that we can do at this time. And then after said, of course, this is not part of Islam.
Asif, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. It's great to have you in the studio. That's Asif Arif, who is a Paris-based human rights lawyer. Great to see you. Thank you very much. Just bear with us for 1 second, please, sir.